Riverbend Talent on the Big Z 107.1 FM, a station that's on the radio at the FM dial that I just mentioned. And this is actually a show. You don't need to picture radio.
This is actually happening, man.
Thanks to Halpin Music Company and to Mr. Matt Van Voorhis from Macias Insurance.
Oh, man. A great place to get instruments and a great place to get insurance. Macias Insurance Agency, Matt Van Voorhis, and, of course, Halpin. They've been with us for 6, 7 years. Thanks to them,
the radio is broken.
Thanks to them, we get to talk to people like Mr. Marshall Ingrassia.
Hey, guys.
Welcome back to the show, Mr. Marshall.
Thanks for having me.
What is how many years has Happy Trails been going on now? Just so people, I guess for people who don't know, Marshall Ingrassia,
yeah, there you go,
is the promoter of the Happy Trails Festival. I feel like everyone should know that by now, but
maybe
letting the people know who don't know. How many years? What is this? 5th annual?
This is number 5.
Number 5, 5th annual. So there you go. 5 years running, and this year I think you're knocking it out of the park with your lineup.
Oh, thanks, man.
So let's start backwards and sort of work our way in. Andy Moondog.
Andy Moondog
is one of the people on. So, well, I say I'm still rushing
You're too excited.
I'm still rushing it. This is all starting tomorrow.
Oh.
This is all starting tomorrow. And where is this at? Willow Springs?
Willow Springs in Tamms, Illinois. So about half hour south of Carbondale.
So Tamms, Illinois, in southern Illinois, and this is a camping destination. So people are going to go down and
it's camping. It's RV friendly. There's a lake. There's caves. There's hiking trails. There's a stage. Wow. There's a bonfire. So
is there an eclipse?
Everything you need to camp. An eclipse?
Yeah. That's coming later.
Just like mine, there will be. Total eclipse of the heart?
The eclipse is supposed to cross over in southern Illinois and all that, so,
That's like in 2024.
Okay, well, I'm just getting ready.
I really amped up about this 2024 thing.
I saved my glasses from the last one.
Right, yeah.
I just used some old 3D glasses I had.
You guys, do you have a pair of those? Do you ever go out and just look at the sun sometimes with those glasses?
I don't need glasses. But I can't see right now.
I burn my retinas out doing it.
That's a conspiracy. You can stare at the sun. People do it all the time.
Yeah. Sun stares.
That's how you get all the pretty colors when you look away.
Yeah. And when you look away from it, you can't see. You still see it for a long time.
Yeah. Some 110-year-old guy said all he did every morning was stare at the sun and drink coffee all day.
Yeah.
And he lived to be like well over 100. So.
Well, and there you go. So I guess go stare at the sun and drink coffee. Anyway.
Happy Trails doesn't condone this.
This actually is not condoned by the Happy Trails LLC.
Nope.
Okay, there you go. So let's.
Oh, you think I mean like the sun that's in the sky?
Yeah.
No, I meant like your son.
Oh, yeah, my son. Yeah, he's beautiful.
Okay, so back to the subject at hand. Happy Trails 5th Anniversary Music and Art Festival. Again, Willow Springs is in Tamms, Illinois.
Yep.
Going on this weekend. Hiking trails, a lake, stages going on, and bands going on. How many days?
16-plus bands. It'll be 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah, music will actually start Thursday night.
Okay.
Tonight. And move through Saturday into the wee early morning hours of Sunday.
So sort of a pre-party for the early comers. There you go. Excellent. And we're going to go through some of these bands that are playing, and you're going to let us know what you know about these bands.
Right. So
let's start backwards.
Okay, yeah.
Let's talk about Andy Moondog.
So Andy is one of the guys from that area, and that's something I wanted to do this year was bring in as many bands and artists as I could from the area down there. You know, 'cause, I mean, there's kind of a tripod of, you got Illinois, you got Kentucky, you got Arkansas, you got Missouri. So there's a lot of states right there that kind of come together. So I looked around and tried to pull people from all over that area for this show, and he was one of the guys that actually reached out to me and asked. So made some room for him.
There you go. You got Joshua Grassley on here. Now, there's a name we know.
Yeah, he's from here in Alton.
There's a name we know.
He's my buddy.
Yeah.
Best beard around.
Oh, yeah.
Best beard in town, Mr.
He definitely
Joshua
has
Grassley.
the best beard.
There you go. All right, so he's going to be he's performing down there?
I hope. We had talked about it a couple weeks ago, and I'm hoping we can make it happen. I messaged him about it the other day, and he said he's going to get back to me. But hopefully he comes on down.
There we go. How about Pyrus Wade?
Pyrus was another guy that I talked to that lives down in the area.
Another local guy.
Yeah, he's a singer-songwriter. He has an amazing voice. I loved when I watched his videos, I loved listening to him sing. So I was happy to make some room for him at Happy Trails.
All right. And was that just a solo act
Yep.
or a band? I wouldn't with Pyrus Wade. I'm like, that could be a name of a person or a name of a band. Not sure on that.
It could definitely go either way.
Sounds like
possibly drummer for Skindred at one point. Who knows? Anyway.
Oh, man. Sturgeon Friends. And that sounds like that's going to be a band.
Oh, yeah. So that's Evan Sturgeon. He's coming down to do his thing. And at first it started out with it was going to be Evan solo, and now I think there's going to be Evan and Friends, so Evan Sturgeon Friends. I'm just pushing his band right now. I know that dude's going to throw a party.
Okay.
So looking forward to see what he brings.
So you've seen Sturge play before, and just like high energy party guy, or what?
I seen his name. I seen his name on a few lineups, so I knew he was in the area and knew he was doing his thing. And I actually went to a benefit for Daniel Sunshine about a week ago, and seen Sturge play there. So yeah, definitely glad I got him on the lineup for Happy Trails.
Nice.
Does he play fish?
God,
sturgeon fish.
He should.
Right.
He should. All right. What about Bongo Pablo?
That's another local dude that reached out to me and offered to basically do a in between bands super jam on the side stage. So he is going to just be throwing it down while we break down the band and set the next band up and sound check and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so on
Vital.
On those in between times when you're switching out bands, he's going to provide some entertainment from another side stage.
Yep.
Excellent. Because that's when you're at the camping festivals and they take a long time between bands and don't have another stage to go watch. It is kind of like, well, there's nowhere for me to go. I'm just here. I guess I'll just sit here and enjoy. No,
yeah.
But
so
it's
what I like
nice
to
when
do
there's a side stage.
is give the bands breaking down and the band setting up plenty of time to get comfortable, and also in my eyes that gives people that are there at the show time to go visit the vendors, because the vendors are a big part of any show that we put on. When it comes down to it, vendors help put the show on. Without the support of them, it would be hard to fund this. So we want to make sure that they get their money back. So I like to give time for the people to go see the vendors and see what they got. This dude's stage will be set up on Shakedown. So
nice.
Yeah,
He will draw people into the Shakedown.
He'll draw people to Shakedown, to the vendors.
Beautiful. All right, so there you go. So now that takes us to a band called Subseed.
So this dude is he is probably going to be my only EDM act of the weekend. And
late night dance party or?
Yeah, he's going to be closing out the Thursday night pre-party. So he basically produces his own music on his computer, and then he has a glowing LED guitar that he jams along to it on. And I might sit in with him on a song or two. I'm not sure. There's a little bit of talk, but
this is definitely one of our ignorances, Pigpen. We've talked about it before when we mentioned DJs. We wonder, are they EDM guys, and what's the difference between an EDM?
I don't know. It's not my scene.
Yeah, me either.
I'm friendly with them. I think it's cool that they got their their thing going on, and I've gone to a few raves, and I think it's a cool scene.
Yeah, it is.
Not quite my scene, but I'm definitely willing to open the Happy Trails doors a little bit to some of those kids.
But EDM guys pack stadiums, am I correct?
They do.
Yeah,
they absolutely do.
I've always been curious, but never spent the time to.
I mean, it's cool. It sounds cool, and it
Yeah.
visually looks cool.
Basically,
it's
what
cool.
the way I see it, and I can't tell you the difference between a DJ and an EDM guy exactly. I believe the EDM guys produce a little more instead of just playing other pre-produced stuff. But to me, the EDM concerts that you're talking about are just raves that are still happening.
That's what I thought.
just legal. They're just no longer in a warehouse where you got to know the secret word, shoot the moon or whatever, to get in.
But they're crossfading and mixing music together in different ways.
Oh, yeah,
and
absolutely.
Maybe a beatbox or something added, like you said, a guitar in this case, like an electronic.
Yeah,
guitar.
the dude gets down. He shreds.
Yeah.
He'll rip that guitar up, just jamming along to his own music, which I think is great. I mean.
Yeah.
So there you go then. And Subseed is the name of that particular act. What night they on? Thursday.
Thursday night.
Shutting down Thursday.
Yep.
All right. How about Peter Porcelain and the Double Standards?
Yeah, that's those guys are a local band from this area, and they're coming down to Happy Trails to play, and they do like Americana, folk, bluegrass.
All right. Well, what day are we going to catch them on?
They'll be Saturday afternoon.
Saturday afternoon.
Evening-ish, yeah.
Okay. Now, here's my old buddy Sam's band, Cornfish.
Cornfish.
Yeah, Cornfish.
Oh, yeah.
Woo. Now, Sam can sing, Sam can play.
Sing
and
real good.
And Sam is a dedicated man in the festival scene.
We love Sam.
Absolutely. And that guy's had a tough year.
He has.
He's his house burned down. He's gone through a lot this year. Let's just say that. So good to see that he did not let it get him down or
I don't know if anything could get that dude down. I've not met a more kind, jolly person than Sam McInnes. Ever.
He could be Santa Claus.
I think he might be.
Seriously, this guy is. I just met him last year, and he amazed me at his dedication to making shows happen that he's not even a part of, and his. He's so friendly and everyone likes him. Hayes Bond was playing, and he doesn't even know Hayes Bond, but he just kind of looks at him and just like in the middle of the song points at the mic like, "Can I get up there?" And they're like, "Sure." And he just gets up and starts tearing it up with some guys he's never met, and then he's shaking their hands after. Oh yeah, so there you go, Sam McInnes, his band Cornfish. What day they playing?
They're gonna be playing Saturday.
Good man, there's a good one. Blue Fluid. Who are those cats?
Those are some kids that reached out to me about playing the show after I had announced the lineup, and they're from the area. So I checked them out and seen that they could play and wanted to give them a spot. So I made some room for them.
Lot of Southern Illinois, or not necessarily even Southern Illinois, but local bands from the meeting of the Great Four States there, basically.
Yeah.
So there you go. Blue Fluid. What day were they?
Friday.
Okay.
Friday.
And again, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3 days of music. It starts today. It's going on tomorrow, and the next day, all down in Tamms, Illinois. That is, it's south of Carbondale, but this is a beautiful place called Willow Springs, where they got a lake. They got the stages where all this is going on. They've got some walking trails, RV friendly, camping. Yes. I'm sure they've got all that set up. So there you go. Onward and upward with our bands, because you've got a lot of bands playing. But you got to tell me about Jamie Gooch and the Grass Fed Funk. Never heard of these guys.
So I had not heard of them either, and I noticed that my boys in Fleetwood and family were playing some shows with these guys. So early on, when I was reaching out and trying to book the festival and looking for other bands, I reached out to these guys and seen what their availability was, and I checked out what they were doing and really liked it, so made some time for those guys on the lineup, and I'm real excited to see them play. They do a real like a bluesy, funky style of music, kind of like what the name says.
Well, that grass-fed funk. So they're probably a little high and doing some fun music. Probably,
yes.
I doubt they're eating grass. That's all I'm saying.
Well, they might be edibles.
Well, okay, but you know what? Touche, pussycat. I take it back.
Thank you.
They could be all about the edibles. I am. So now we're down to the one there. You have a lot of. We're really just getting into the meat. So far, we've been going through some of the opening bands, some of the early bands. We're just now getting into the meat of what's going to be going on this weekend. And This is the one I'm actually kind of bummed I'm going to be missing. Super Jam.
Oh man, I'm bummed you're missing it too.
I am not going to be there on that day, and I'm bummed I'm missing it. Which day is Super Jam playing? Saturday?
Saturday night, Super Jam's closing out the whole Happy Trail show Saturday night.
And Super Jam is a super group, basically, of some of the people that are playing here, including some Spilly Nelson folks, some guys. It's even guys from bands that aren't going to be there playing necessarily. Right. So just a whole bunch of different members, including yourself.
Yes.
And you're going to be doing 2 hours of Grateful Dead, basically. Is it?
Like maybe three. I'm not sure. Yeah, we've put together a nice fat set list of Grateful Dead. We're gonna do a full-on Grateful Dead show. First set break, second set, drum, space, beam, close out the. We're gonna do it right.
Now. And who've seen Dead shows understand exactly what you mean.
Yes.
And those who don't, when you went to a Grateful Dead show, they would have opening bands sometimes, but most of the time it was just the Dead, and they would start early and go late, do a great set, like you say, come back, do another set, and then go into what we call drums and space, which is just a lot of trippy sounds, composing trippy sounds together. But the word that you said that we have to go back to is this one. Beam. So a lot of folks that drums in space is sort of self-explanatory, I think,
right.
in the words themselves. Well, there's drums, and it's going to be spacey, yes. Sort of psychedelic and trippy. However, the beam is something a lot of people who have never seen the Dead would probably not be familiar with. This is an instrument that is... I believe Phil Lesh had it built specifically for him. I don't
Mickey
think
Hart.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I said Phil Lesh. Phil Lesh used to say the beam is the only thing deep enough to swallow a lesh. Because as deep and low as Phil's bass
soul.
would get,
yeah.
So the beam is just to describe it to someone. It is basically like a 15, 20-foot beam, and it has. For the best explanation, like bass strings, but you got to picture they're like half an inch thick to an inch thick, and it is when you pound on them with your hand, strike them with your hand, it is a very low vibration. Closest thing to the brown note I've ever heard, brown tone I've ever heard. A lot of people run towards the toilets holding both cheeks when they hear this one.
We're going to try to make that happen at Happy Trails.
So this is the question. Where did you get your hands on a beam? Because they're not easy to come by. That's not something you see at every music store.
No, they're not. You have to custom build them.
Yes.
And I happen to have been introduced to a gentleman named Eric in St. Louis who custom builds them. And he's built them for Forgotten Space. He's built them for Dark Star Orchestra and other Dead cover bands throughout the country. And when I found out this dude was in St. Louis, I had to reach out to him and invite him out to Happy Trails and kind of told him what we're doing and what we got going on. And he was more than happy to bring his beam out and play for us. We did a rehearsal just the other day, and it was absolutely awesome.
His name is Eric Mitchell.
Yep.
And he from St. Louis, building
Beam 'em
beams.
Up.
Beam 'em up.
Beam 'em up is the name of his beam building company.
And again, an interesting instrument. Makes the bass seem like a high-end melodic.
Yeah, I had actually thought about building one myself. People are always giving away pianos. I was going to go, get a old piano and just
awesome. That's totally beam 'em up.
Beam 'em up.
There you go. So, also we got Anna.
Anna
will be playing.
Yes, Anna will be coming out.
What day is Anna?
Anna's going to be playing Saturday. No, Friday.
Friday, okay.
Anna might make a special appearance Saturday at some point.
During
the Super Jam,
I was going to say one of the if you haven't been to big music festivals or 3-day music festivals like this, one of the fun things is the bands decide, hey, you sit in with us, you come sit in with you, and you see some conglomerations that you might not ever see again. But when you said she's going to make a special appearance, I'm like, yeah, that's the kind of thing that you look for. Like you sitting in with the, I forget who it was, Subsea?
Yeah, Subsea.
So now, the next band, a band we're all familiar with around this station,
yes.
around this show. We've been talking to these guys since they were kids. Hayes Bond. Man, glad to see that you got them. When I first saw these kids years ago, I knew they had it as soon as I saw them.
So, funny story about their set. Sometimes when I'm organizing this festival, it's a lot of late night hours, a lot of late night stoned hours.
Sure.
And so I'm putting together the set times for my show, and I had apparently accidentally gave Hayes Bond a 2-hour slot.
Nothing wrong with that.
Didn't catch it. And Eric, the bass player, the other day at the fundraiser was like, "Hey, man, we're really stoked for that 2-hour slot." And I was like, "What?" And I went back, and sure enough, I gave him a 2-hour slot. So I was gonna fix it and try to add another band, but they're into it. They're ready to go. So
and
we're getting a 2-hour Hayes Bond slot Friday.
They will do a great job with it, man. Like I say, Jimmy G, kind of was their teacher who gives lessons up at Swing City and taught them when they were younger. Turned me on to them years back in 2018, and man, since then they've come a long way. And I don't know if you've checked out their video that they shot just up the river a ways. Angels in Disguise.
Oh yeah, that's a great video.
A great visit. Like some of the best cinematography on any local video that I've seen. I think the one that Hideous Gentleman did at the art place downtown, where it's all one shot, is very artistic and it's beautiful. But the cinematography is untouchable on that Hayes Bond one.
That's awesome.
So that's great. They got 2 hours of the Hayes Bond band. That's going to get Bashy Boo excited, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, Hayes Bond, that's a ghost. I remember that.
I was going to say you're all about the ghosties, and Hayes Bond is indeed a ghost. So, yeah. And the ghost makes an appearance in that video I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Got a pretty nice figure. All right, so anyway, let's go down to the next one. Fast Molasses, which seems like that's not going to happen.
Fast Molasses. Okay, so this dude was introduced to me via the owners, Andy and Robin of Willow Springs. They told me, this is again after I got the lineup out. Like I got this lineup out, I had my artist do the drawing and everything, and I put it out. And they're like, "Hey, you got to add this dude on. He is awesome. Like he's gonna come down and play some phenomenal bluegrass for you." And I was like, "Okay, well, we'll make it happen. Like, we got a whole weekend, right?" So they showed me, and he's from Kentucky, and they showed me some of his music, and the kid can play, and that's what this festival is about, is giving people a platform to do their thing. So, of course, we made room for him, and I'm stoked to see his stuff after seeing a few videos that were sent to me. I've actually not seen him live yet, so I'm real excited for him.
Yeah, that's always fun.
He'll be playing a night set Friday.
Okay, there you go.
You add a little ether to molasses, you'd be surprised how fast it looks like it's running.
Okay.
A little ether makes everything weird. Suddenly I'm walking like the town drunkard, but I haven't had a drink all day. Let's moving along. Timeless Corridor. I've never heard of this band, so let me tell me about Timeless
Okay,
Corridor.
so Timeless Corridor, this is my buddy Jeremy's band. And Jeremy is a drummer that I've played with in the past. And I had his band Timeless Corridor play Happy Trails last year, but I had them on a day slot. And they're basically an all-instrumental band, but they play just... It's like a mixture of, like, Dead and Humphreys McGee and, like, jazz and blues at the same time. And it's real, like, liquidy, and there's a lot of movement going on, and they're a super tight band. And when they played last year, I was like, I have to bring them back next year, and I have to put them on at nighttime. So they're playing a late night slot Saturday right before the Super Jam.
Nice.
So
okay.
and it's going to be awesome.
Okay, cool. That's
very true.
That is one I had never heard of. Here's one I've heard of. Fleetwood.
Oh yeah, got the family coming out.
Yeah, so the Fleetwood family's heading out. What day are? I guess since I already know, but some people don't. Tell us about Fleetwood.
Fleetwood is my boy, Rich Fleetwood. Yeah, we used to go to high school together. We played in Spilly Nelson for a little while together, and I think he still plays with Spilly on and off, and he's got his own band, and they've been really hitting the festival scene hard this past year. and they've been really coming up, and I'm really stoked to have my old buddy from high school out playing my festival together, and he's also going to be sitting in for the Grateful Dead Super Jam, so it's going to be fun, throwing a party with my boy.
Nice,
I'm looking forward to it, man.
And Rich is just a great dude.
Yeah.
In addition to being a great musician.
Oh,
just
and
a great
he's got
person.
my buddy Kevin playing guitar. So I had a Grateful Dead Super Jam a few months ago here in Alton, and Rich and Kevin had never met each other, and I had pulled some of my favorite friends and musicians together for a night to play some Dead. And they met each other, and Rich scooped him up. Yeah, and Kevin's a phenomenal player, too.
There you go. That takes us to Spilly Nelson.
Yeah.
So, Spilly Nelson, what night is Spilly Nelson playing?
They're going to be playing the late night set Friday. So
Friday night.
They're closing out Friday night.
They're closing out Friday night, and they're just a fun band.
Oh, Spilly throws a party, man.
Yeah,
they're a great band to close out the show Friday night.
Yeah, kind of a mix of Dead and some reggae and just
a little bluesy,
but usually just always upbeat. And
Josh is a phenomenal front man.
Yeah.
I love the whole band.
Yeah. So there you go, and that brings us to Cluster Pluck.
Pluck.
Yeah. So when's Cluster Pluck playing?
Cluster Pluck's playing Friday. Before they'll be playing before Spilly
right
Nelson.
Before Spilly.
Yep.
And man, there's a good band. There's some pickers in that band.
Oh, they are phenomenal musicians. They've been playing for over a decade now, I think, here in the St. Louis area and all over here in the Midwest. And
what a great name, Cluster Pluck.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal band name. It really is. And they're super talented. They've added a drummer recently. I seen them with their drummer at Gnome Stock last year, and it was a phenomenal show. In fact, they played so good. The band that I was playing with currently was playing the late night set at that festival. I had to go back to my camp after their set and practice all through the Arkansas set just because Cluster Pluck killed it so much. I was like, I got to bring it. Right. They brought it. I got to bring it to them.
Right. I can't go up there, half-assing it right now.
No. We all played it a great. That Saturday night was probably one of my favorites playing music.
That is great though when a musician inspires you to do better because they're like, oh, wow, look how good they are. I got to go after that.
That's why I booked
practice
them. I was like, I'm going to go practice for an hour, and then I'm booking them for
Happy
Trails.
There you go, man. That is a heck of a lineup. It's all going on this weekend. Tamms, Illinois. Now, we're not done talking about it. I'm just reminding everyone. Tamms, Illinois, a little south of Carbondale, and great Willow Springs.
Willow Springs campground and venue down in Tamms, yep.
There you go, and a lot going on there. And we just went through all these great bands, Cluster Pluck, Spilly Nelson, Fleetwood Family, Timeless Corridor, the Super Jam, Hazebond. But there's one more person we got to talk about before we can wrap this whole thing up and just tell everyone to start driving that way if they're not already, and that is the Mad Alchemist.
The Mad Alchemist will be on site.
So this guy is a stage show extraordinaire. You can't call him a light guy. He does so much more than just lights.
It's much more than just a light show.
But he's going to be providing ambiance to the after dark bands. I would imagine is the point of the Mad Alchemist.
Yes.
So he's going to be doing liquid light show. He's going to be doing. I believe he combines all sorts of.
So what he does is he does psychedelic liquid art that was originated in the 60s and 70s through the acid tests and stuff. But he's upped it, and he not only uses a projector with the oils and does all the liquid art, but he runs that through his computer and adds kaleidoscopes and different effects, and he lights up not only the stage, he'll light up the trees around the stage, he'll light up other parts of the festival ground if you want, if you have him bring enough projectors out, he'll turn the entire place into a explosion of color that is constantly moving too. It's not just one piece. He's done liquid art for Phil Lesh. He's done liquid art for King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Joe Russo's Almost Dead. Temples.
My favorite band currently to go see is J-Rag.
Oh, man, I'm going to Sacred Rose in August. I can't wait.
I just saw them out in Peach Fest a few weeks ago, and man, they're my hands down my favorite band to see at the current time on the touring festival.
Get some
touring circuits. But
get some Phil Lesh and then some Joe Russo.
Yeah, so there you go, man. So the Mad Alchemist providing ambiance and light on top of all this great lineup, man. You have knocked it out of the park, my friend.
Thanks, man. I want to give a shout out to Sage and Gage Flow Arts too. They are coming out. These young ladies do fire dancing and different flow arts with like poi and LED hoops and different fire things and stuff that I don't want to mess with.
Right.
But yeah, they are going to be performing with the nighttime bands, and I'm super stoked that they were interested in coming out and performing at Happy Trails.
It just adds more ambiance and more festival-like attitude there. So excellent, man. You have, again, knocked it out of the park with this lineup. It's all going on this weekend. Tamms, Illinois, Willow Springs, Campground, Mr. Marshall, Ingrassia bringing the 5th annual Happy Trails Music and Art Festival. All right. Thank you for doing it, and good luck. It's going to be, you got a lot of work ahead of you. Like, it's getting ready to start. You better hurry up and get down there.
Yeah, I know, man. Like, it's like crunch time.
It's crunch time.
Yeah, between this festival and my new pest control business, I don't know if I sleep anymore.
And let's mention that before we bring this to a close. Marshall Pest Solutions.
That's it.
Yeah, I know you take care of my yard for me, and I appreciate it because it's hard to put a price on someone giving you your backyard again. I'd been driven inside by the mosquitoes because it's no fun to sit outside with mosquitoes chomping on you, but I'm an outdoor guy. Like, I'm outdoors. Like, people say, you look outdoorsy because I'm homeless, I think, but that's I digress from that part of it. I'm an outdoorsy kind of guy, and I am back to enjoying my backyard mosquito-free. So, yeah, if you have any problems, ticks, mosquitoes, any sort of pest problem, indoor or outdoor.
Commercial or residential.
Marshall Pest Solutions. You can check them out at marshallpestsolutions.com.
Or call 618-581-3217.
What's that number again?
618-581-3217.
Just making sure you remembered.
Yeah.
All right, that's Mr. Marshall Ingrassia from Marshall Pest Solutions, and, man, bringing us the 5th annual Happy Trails Music and Art Festival in Tamms, Illinois this weekend. You got anything, Mr. Bashy Boo, you want to ask him about this weekend?
No, I'm
you got
good.
Anything you want to ask him about pest control?
No,
Dennis, your name will be on the guest list, just so you know.
Okay, that's
as
nice.
It always is.
No, I just always like to thank our sponsors, Halpin Music Company and Mr. Matt Van Boers of Macias Insurance, just because you reminded me sponsors are available, and
he
I
is
should
my
probably say
insurer
that
as well for my pest control company.
Yeah,
excellent.
Excellent.
I just didn't want to forget.
No, hey, big thanks to them for letting us do this week after week. Thanks to Mr. Marshall Ingrassia for coming down and hanging out with us tonight, and good luck on the festival. I know you're going to knock it out of the park, man.
Thanks, Scrappy Doo. Thanks for having me out.
All right, man.
Thanks,
on
Dennis.
behalf of my partner, Dennis Laird, I tell everybody, if you can't make it to Tamms, Illinois this weekend to see the Happy Trail Festival, definitely get out and support local music and art.
That's what it's about.